Hello and welcome to a beginner's workout routine for the Bowflex. My name is Eric. This is my dog Roxy, and Roxy is here for a little bit of moral support because as a dog, every day is leg day for her. And I know a lot of people don't like leg day, but we just need to channel our inner Roxy here, get these really powerful legs that she's got. So today's routine is gonna be done on a flat bench style Bowflex. First half of the routine, or first 2/3, will be done from this back set of pulleys here, just using the normal Bowflex handles. And then the final third will be done from the leg extension attachment. So you don't need any special gear for this routine at all. We're gonna be just doing a normal interval style workout here, 25 seconds of work, and then our rest intervals are gonna vary a little bit throughout today's routine. Just follow along with me, it'll all be easy. We're gonna have previews of the lifts on the screen. We're gonna be racking up our weight in just a moment. But first we're gonna have a 3-minute warm up. So I hope you join me for that, and I'll see you right back. All right, let's get this started with a little jogging in place here for a little over a minute. Now, I know a lot of people are like, hey, I do a lot of cardio. I don't need to do strength training for my legs too. Let me tell you, I used to have that mindset as well, but I've really come around on it. Now, strength training with your legs is more than just building up muscle. It's also gonna be about strengthening your tendons and your joints, because those are the most common areas where you injure your leg. And for me, I do a ton of cardio. I'm actually training for a marathon, and this strength training has helped me stay injury-free as I really up my mileage and take it really high. So it's a big part of it. Also strength training is gonna help with athletic performance, maybe jump higher, move faster, all that stuff. And that might not matter to you, but maybe it's keeping up with your kids or keeping up with your dog in my case. And all of that is kind of comes from the strength training in your leg. Also helps with old age as well. Keep that mobility as you get older. Let's move into some body weight squats. Legs a little bit wider and shoulder width apart, hands together in front of you. Let's just drop down as low as you can comfortably go and raise up out of it. Now, also our legs, our quads and our glutes, the muscle groups we're loosening up here. These are going to be our biggest muscle groups in our body. A lot easier to put muscle mass on in those muscle groups. And the more muscle mass you have on your body, the better it is for weight control as well. You're gonna have a higher resting metabolic rate. Let's go wide apart now. We're going to a side squat. Just go side to side and try to loosen up and go a little further down each time as you go. Got another 15 seconds of these. Let's see how low you can go. So yeah, the more muscle mass you can put on those legs, the more calories your body is just gonna burn at rest, which is great for weight control. Okay, we're gonna move into downward dog here. This is a yoga pose. Hands are gonna be on the ground and then legs are back here. Now we're gonna line up our head with our arms, and then let's just pedal our feet a little bit here. Loosen up our calves and our ankles here, get a nice stretch there. We're gonna do this for another 10 seconds. And when the clock hits 20 seconds, this is your time. Do whatever stretch you need today. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into a quad stretch here. Just pulling my leg back here. You can lean up against the wall or your Bowflex if you need some support. I might switch sides here. And we're about to start racking up our resistance here. Now, we're all at our own levels here. If you struggle with squats, I would start with maybe just 30 pounds of resistance racked up, and that'd be a lightweight setting. Also, remove your bench for the first part of this routine, so just fold that off here. A medium weight setting, you could start out at 50 pounds, and then a heavyweight setting, 80 pounds, 100 pounds, or in my case, I'm actually gonna be using this upgrade kit here that clips on these elastic bands, and that's gonna up my resistance like another 50-pound power rod. So I'm racking up 130 pounds. It's definitely a heavy weight setting here. And we're gonna be doing a front squat up first, once I get this all racked up. Now for a front squat, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be grabbing the handles and we're gonna be facing the Bowflex. I'm pretty close to the tower here. And I'm actually gonna start with my legs bent, so then I can bring the handles up to my shoulders and I'm gonna raise up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop down And I'm gonna try to almost sit here on the crossbar and then raise up. So as I drop down, I'm gonna inhale a little bit here, and then I'm gonna drop, raise up, and then exhale when I get near the top. So we're gonna drop down and raise up. Try to take it nice and slow. We're not trying to jump here, we're just trying to control the weight through the whole range of motion. Okay, so 30 seconds of rest here. And I'm gonna give you a little bit longer rest intervals on these front squats because these are movements that, you know, can fire up a lot of muscles here in those legs. It's gonna probably knock the wind out of you a little bit. Certainly does out of me. So that said, rest time's almost over. Let's drop down, get the weights at our shoulders. Here we go, let's drop it down and raise up. Now as you drop down, you might need to lean back just a little bit here. Definitely don't lean forward. If your knees are ending up in front of your toes, that's going to put a lot more tension on your joints. And kind of the whole chain there. So if you're leaning forward, it's going to put more tension on your knees, your Achilles and your ankle, and it's even going to put a little bit more pressure on your lower back as well. So we got one more set of these front squats here. And then we're going to move into horizontal squats. It's going to be a little bit different. Okay, we got less than 10 seconds. Go ahead and get in position here. Now let's drop it down, nice and slow. Again, think about where your knees are ending up. Try to keep those shins pointing straight up and down and not leaning forward. All right, there we go. So front squats are done. Now we're gonna move into horizontal squats. And with horizontal squats, if you have more than 80 pounds racked up, you're gonna wanna make sure your feet stay on the platform. Otherwise, you're gonna be pulling this Bowflex around the room. Now, if you got less, you could be off the platform, either works. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these handles and I'm gonna kind of tuck them in just a little bit here on my sides. I'm gonna drop down just like I did with the squats, and I'm gonna raise up here. Now, the weight that the Bowflex is providing is largely just a counterbalance here. You know, adding a bunch more weight here isn't really doing a whole lot because we're not really working up against the resistance as much as we are just our body weight here. So try to go nice and slow, control the range of motion, and then raise up. Again, think about your knee placement. You know, are your knees ending up above your toes or in front of them? You know, so try to, you know, go more, you know, lean back a bit more if you can. Okay. So again, with that lean, if you're finding your Bowflex is wanting to pull away, make sure you're standing on this platform. If you don't have a lot of weight, you might be fine off of the platform. Okay, break time's almost up here. Let's get back in position and we're gonna drop it down and raise up. Now you'll see I have the handles tucked in pretty close to my torso here. That is not a must for this. If you need to have the handles out in front of you a bit more, again, we're largely using it as a counterbalance, that's okay. All right, one more set, and then we'll be moving into a calf raise in just a moment here. I've got dog fur all over my shirt from the intro. All right, 5 seconds to go. Get in position and drop it down. Try to, again, go nice and slow. I almost like to just hover here right above the crossbar for a second and then raise up if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. You're working to it. All right. Calf raises are going to be up next. We got a 40-second break here. Let me go ahead and show you what these are going to look like. So they're going to be a lot like front squats, where you're going to drop down, bring the handles up to your shoulders here. This time though, we're only going to raise up onto our tippy toes and then drop back down. So just like those other lifts, try to go slow, especially on this lift. Try to hold, in a fully extended position for a good second or two if you can. Okay, let's raise it up, hold it, and drop. Hold and drop. Stay up on those toes. Nice, okay. One more set of those coming up. Now after this set, we're gonna reconnect our bench, and then we're gonna be lying down on the bench. First, let's get in position here. All right, up on those toes, hold it, and drop. Repeat. Exhale on the way up. Okay, so we are going to be putting our bench back together here. We're going to have two different exercises to choose from here. This is going to be hitting our core muscles. So first up, I'm going to be doing a sit-up, and I'll be showing you that in just a moment. Well, with the sit-up, I'm going to be holding the handles, doing a full sit-up like this. The handles are optional. Alternatively, if you don't feel like you have a lot of control on this, or sit-ups are difficult or maybe uncomfortable for your knees, you can do a pull-over crunch. Pull-over crunch is going to look like this, where you're going to put the handles up here, pointing straight up at the sky, and then you're going to bring them down to your thighs, and then go into a crunch here, and then back down. Just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and get ready for some sit-ups here. Okay, here we go. So with sit-ups, I have the handles just resting on my shoulders, and they're going to give resistance through this whole range of motion. Okay, nice. So 3 sets of those in total. First one down, and just keep with what you need. So if you are doing sit-ups, again, I dropped the resistance setting. I can't do the same resistance as I do with squats for sit-ups here. All right, let's crunch it up here. Now, if you're doing sit-ups, you can also add a little twist in here. So I'm gonna have my elbows kind of touch the opposite knee as I go up. Okay, one more set of those. Oh, for sit-ups too. If your Bowflex came with a strap that goes around the back cable, you can use that to keep this locked in place here. Or if you buy the upgrade kit, which I use in a couple of the routines, there's an extra strap like that that's gonna help affix this weight so you can use it for your sit-ups here. Okay, and so what I mean by that Velcro strap though, there's just a strap right down here on mine, and this is part of that upgrade kit. Some Bowflexes have a Velcro strap that comes with, you know, to tighten up your rods when not in use. You can also use it down here. So our next exercise is gonna be hip adduction, or hip extension. So I've got 80 pounds racked up. Again, that's a heavyweight setting. You might need to bring that down from where you started. And for a hip extension, I'm gonna just open up this handle and I'm gonna put my outer foot through it. And I'm gonna have this at my shoe here. And now I'm gonna stand maybe a foot away from the tower here. One arm is gonna be on the tower. I'm gonna extend this hip out. So here I am, extending this hip out. And I'm gonna try to hold it out for a second and slowly retract it here. Again, this is less weight than where I started this routine at for those squats. Okay, so we're just going to be switching sides here. Hitting the other leg, exact same motion. So again, I'm just put my leg through the handle here. And another thing is, I kind of like having my leg kind of drag back almost behind the other leg. So there's a little bit of stretch that happens, or I get some resistance immediately here. And then as I'm fully extended, I'm out of cable length here. Like the power rods can't bend any further. So I'm really maximizing the resistance here. I still might run out of range of motion. Okay, switching sides, same thing, here we go. All right, let's try to go extra slow on these reps here. Extend, slow retract. Now this lift can be really great for your IT band, which is, I mentioned being a runner. That's a really common injury for runners or anybody that is on their feet a lot. And what that sensation kind of is on the outer part of your knee, there's almost this like little strip of, almost feels like a piece of tape when your leg is fully extended here. Sometimes that can feel a little inflamed. This is a great lift for helping out with that. Okay, last one of these. Extend it out. Again, we're taking it as slow as we can go here. Exhale as you extend out. Nice. Okay. 1 minute and 30 seconds of rest here. Now, this is intended to be kind of a little break time in here, but we also need to reroute our cables to our leg extension attachment. So if you're not sure how that works, let me just show you really quick here. So right down here, I will just clip this in to this top set of pulleys here. And I'm going to be keeping my resistance setting the same as I had for hip extension there. And we're gonna have our first lift be a leg curl. Now, if you have a Bowflex Blaze, there's a separate seat attachment that you're gonna wanna place up there right now. It's gonna give you a really good leg curl. And you can actually do a dual leg curl, which I would recommend doing. Now on the PR1000 and these other ones, you gotta do them one at a time. And it can be a little awkward of a lift, we'll say. And what you're gonna do is basically you're gonna have your right above your knee, hopefully, is gonna be touching this pad here. And I'm gonna then kind of line this foot up with this pad as well. So I have then, you can kind of see I'm leaning forward here, and then I might just curl this weight up here, bring it back, bend in my leg, and I'll get a nice, activation in my hamstring here. And this is tough at the weight setting. I might be dropping my weight just a little here. Okay, I'm gonna drop my weight just a little from here, make those tweaks as needed. And actually, we have a really short rest interval here. So just get into it as soon as you can, or you might need to pause and rewind just a moment if you had to tweak that. This feels a lot better here. Okay, another short rest interval here. And again, I know this can be a bit awkward of a lift, kind of keep feeling this out. If this is your first time, doing this lift, maybe this is just feeling it out and the next time won't be a throwaway, but just stick with me here. Let's finish this routine out and keep, working on finding a position here that works for you. For me, it really helps to be leaning forward, and I'm just facing the bench here. Now there's another variant of a leg curl that I'm going to show you in the other leg day routine that goes with this beginner program. Okay, let's curl it up. And I don't think I mentioned that beginner program yet in this video. If you're looking for more structure, you're not sure, what your frequency of these routines should be or what order, or just looking for a little bit of a, maybe a goal of, hey, I want to do X. I just want to get into better shape. This program is really going to help you out. Okay. I'm going to add a bit more weight here as I go into a leg extension, which is going to be our final lift of the day. And, I mentioned this upgrade kit here. I'm going to use this here, and it's going to clip in a little bit different of a spot. I'll show this on camera. And this is going to give me a little bit more resistance here as well. But anyways, about the program though, it's really going to help, give you something to work towards, because if you're just like, hey, I just want to, get in better shape, but you don't have any structure around it, it can be kind of tough to do that. So leg extension, we're just going to be sitting here. You can lean back or you can sit straight up. I like a small lean back. I'm going to raise those legs up and then slowly retract it. Okay, let's raise them up. I also like keeping my legs straight out for a good second or two here. Really engage your quads as you do this. Okay. Now, if you're finding, these pads are at the wrong spot, this down here, this is adjustable actually, at least on mine. There's a couple holes down here so I can raise this bottom pad up or down to, fit your height. So if you're a little bit shorter, you might need to have this up a little bit higher. For me, the bottom pads rest right at kind of I don't know, the opposite side of my ankle or resting on top of my shoe, if that makes sense. Exhale as you're kicking up. And these get hard. This is major isolation work here. We got just one more set of those coming up here. So a lot of those other lifts, the squats, for instance, you're using a lot of different muscle groups or compound movements. Those are really great for beginners. And this is a little bit more isolation work where we just hit one muscle group at a time. It's such a good lift on this machine. I could not leave it out of this routine though. So let's lean back, extend it up. This is our final set. Make this thing count. Ten more seconds, let's go. All right, awesome job on finishing this thing out. Let's remove our power rods from tension and then again, wrap them up. If you have a bungee cord or, I mentioned this Velcro strap, that's gonna help keep those power rods lasting as long as possible. So I also want to give a big thank you to all my community support on this channel. These routines are, not sponsored by Bowflex or anything. This whole channel is made possible by the Patreon and community support. Got some individuals up here, they pay a little extra, get their names in the credits. Really appreciate them and all of the community support. They also get access to all my workout programs as well. So, if you want to support the channel, let me go ahead and say thank you to you in advance and to all those fine folks. So great job on, completing leg day today. And as always, I want you to be good to yourself, be good to others, and thank you for watching.